Okay, I'm going to go over a couple of the practice problems. So starting with number 1, we're determining if the triangles are similar, and we're going to show the work, state the theorem, and write a similarity statement. So looking at number 1, what I see is I see labels on 2 sides, and I see an angle, which tells me it's probably going to be side angle side, so that's what we're going to check. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to write down the information that we know. Well, we know that angle B is congruent to angle L, and the reason for that is that's given to us. We know that B is 56 and L is 56. Okay, next thing we're going to do is to check side angle side, we need to match up our corresponding sides. So I'm going to match up my small sides, which is going to be the 27 and the 90. And then I'm going to match up my medium sides, so 30 and 101. So in order for these to be similar, those ratios have to be equal. So in my calculator, I'm going to do 27 divided by 90. We get exactly 0.3. And then 30 divided by 101, we get 0.297. So since these are not equal, the sides aren't proportional. So even though we have a congruent angle here, because the sides are proportional, we would say that these triangles are not similar. And really, our reason is because the sides are not proportional. Okay, let's look at number 5. So number 5 is an example where we have overlapping triangles. So every time you have this, what I recommend you do is draw the 2 triangles separately. So I have my smaller triangle, and that's GLM. And then I have my bigger triangle, which is going to be GEF. Okay, now I'm going to fill in the measurement. So starting with my smaller, or I'll start with my bigger triangle. So GE is 169. FE is 130. And then FG is 181. And then looking at our smaller triangle, the only measurement that's given to us is the 60, but we can find these other measurements here by just doing a little bit of subtraction. So this side right here is just going to be 181 minus 97. That's 84. So MG is 84. And then we can do the same thing on the other side. So this side right here is going to be 169 minus 91. And that's 78. Okay, so now looking at our 2 triangles, we're trying to determine if they're similar. I'm noticing that I'm given all 3 sides, and I'm giving no information about the angles, which tells me I'm probably going to check side, side, side. Okay, so to check side, 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 we first need to label our small, medium, and long sides. So I'm going to highlight my small in red. So that's 60, and then in the bigger triangle, 130 is the smaller side. I'm going to highlight my medium side in blue, so that's the 78 and the 169. And then the long side is going to be highlighted in green. So we're going to match up. You could also just label them too. This is small, medium, large, small, medium, large, or long, whatever. Okay, so matching them up, I'm going to check 60 over 130 and see if that equals 78 over 169, and then 84 over 181. So putting these in our calculator, we needed to get the same exact thing. So 60 divided by 130 is 0.4615. 78 divided by 169 is 78 divided by 169 is 0.4615. And then 84 divided by 181 is about 0.464. So since these are equal, but this last ratio is not equal, we would say not proportional. Sides not proportional. So just like the previous one, question number 1, we would say not similar. And our reason is because the sides are not proportional. So I know the key says that this is side, 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 but that is a mistake. It should be that they are not similar. All right, let's look at number 6. So number 6, in looking at this diagram, the first thing I'm going to mark up are the vertical angles. So angle BDC is congruent to angle SDT, and the reason is they're vertical angles. And that's important because that angle is the included angle between these two sides, which tells me that I'm probably going to check side, side, or side angle side. Okay, in order for it to be side angle side, we have to first match up our small sides and our medium sides, and we need to check that the ratios are equal. So starting with the first triangle, I'm going to match up 56 over 35. And in order for these to be proportional, that has to equal 96 over 60. So we're checking to see if those ratios are equal. So 56 divided by 35 is 1.6. And then 96 divided by 60 is also 1.6. So because those ratios are equal, we would say that the sides are proportional. And then we can say that the two triangles are similar by side angle side. Okay, that's because the included angle, the angle between the two sides, is congruent, and the two sides are proportional. The ratios are equal. Now we just need to write a similarity statement. So we just need to match up our triangle. So I'm going to start with the triangle on the left. So I'm going to say BDC. So triangle BDC is similar to triangle, so I did BDC, so it's going to be SDT. All right, the last one I'm going to go over is number 9. So looking at number 9, I have two different triangles, and anytime you have two different triangles, you should draw them separately. So here's my small triangle. This is TLK. And then I have my bigger triangle. This is TVU. And I'm just going to mark the only angle we know. So we know that angle V is 50 degrees and angle L is 50 degrees. Well, in looking at these pictures, I don't know anything about the sides, which tells me that I'm going to check angle. So the first angle I know is that angle L is congruent to angle V, and the reason for that is it's given to us. Those measurements are already given. Okay. The other thing we know is that angle T is a shared angle, which means it's the same for both triangles. So angle T is congruent to angle T, and the reason is it's a shared angle. Well, there are two angles, which means that the two triangles are similar. By angle. So writing my similarity statement, I'm going to say KLT. So KLT is similar to UVT.